Hi everyone, welcome back. It's the Louis Vuitton Princess, and today I'm going to be making a sort of, I don't know, maybe controversial video. I don't feel like it's controversial, but it's like, I know how the girlies like to tussle in the comments. So once again, I always like to start off by saying that anything that I say in these videos is my opinion. And the wonderful thing about living in the United States of America is that I get to have opinions about anything that I want. So if you disagree on an opinion that I have, that's perfectly fine. It's my opinion only. So today I'm going to be talking about what I feel are some of Louis Vuitton's classiest bags. Now, of course, there are going to be bags that I am not going to show here, which is why I feel like some people might want to tussle. But this is based off of the bags that I have in my collection. I do not have every single Louis Vuitton bags, but these are some of the ones over the years. A lot of them are vintage that I have picked up because I feel like they are very classy looking, and I feel like they are some of Louis Vuitton's most classy looking bags. So yeah. If there's something here that you think should be here, feel free to politely let me know in the comments. Maybe it's a style that I need to check out. And if you disagree with bags that are here, well, again, it's my opinion and you're entitled to your opinion. So the first bag I want to share with you guys, and I feel like is one of Louis Vuitton's classiest bags, is the Ellipse MM. Now, I feel like I should also do like a little side mention here of what exactly I mean when I say classy bags, classy Louis Vuitton bags. Primarily what I mean when I'm saying classiest Louis Vuitton bags are bags that I feel like are event ready bags. It's a bag that you could take to a banquet. It's a bag that you could take to a ball. It's very much something that, you know, it's giving luxury, but it's also just sort of giving, I don't know, like formal. That's a good way to put it. It's giving luxury, but formal. So nonetheless, back to the Ellipse. I feel like the Ellipse is one of those bags that when you see it, it gives formal. It is vintage. It is different. It has a lot of canvas. It is hard-sided. At the same time though, however, it's a very unique shape that's very eye-catching. I personally have the Ellipse MM. I honestly would say that the Ellipse PM is probably more formal, just because the MM is kind of a larger bag. Again, I mean with that, when I say that, of like, you know, if you're wearing a gown or a long dress, a lot of times people go for smaller bags and clutches. So if you do like a bigger bag that is formal, I feel like the MM definitely works. But if you prefer something smaller that's very formal looking, I would say the PM, which is just a smaller looking version of this. Nonetheless, I feel like the Ellipse is one of Louis Vuitton's classiest bags. They are from the late 90s, and you know, they just very much give class, formality, you know, social event, you know, ball, banquet. It's giving that. You could see somebody with this and, you know, a big hat. You could see somebody with this and a gown. It gives what it needs to give. Now, in my opinion, this is Louis Vuitton's classiest bag. Again, the girlies like to tussle, but it is what it is. This is, in my opinion, Louis Vuitton's classiest bag, and this is the Louis Vuitton Malcherbaz, also known as the Louis Vuitton Kelly. As you can see, it very much favors the Hermes Kelly, which is why people very lovingly refer to this bag as the Louis Vuitton Kelly. As I've said in previous videos, I actually have 3 of these. I have one in Monogram, Epi Noir, and I have one in Centenary. So I actually have 3 of these bags, and I think this is Louis Vuitton's classiest bag. A lot of people are probably like, oh, you think it's the classiest bag just because it looks like the Kelly? And it's like, I mean, that kind of sort of applies, because I feel like the Kelly is a very classy looking bag, but it's mostly just the style. For one, it's a smaller bag. And again, typically when we're talking about these very formal settings, people carry smaller things. It's a smaller bag. It's got some nice hardware, mostly this little turn lock on the front, but it's not super duper flashy. Little hardware here, little hardware here. You've got the short little top handle. Again, we're thinking, you know, tea, lunch, banquet, you know, ball. Lots of times if people are going to do a handbag over a clutch, it's going to be something that's a cute little top handle that they can keep close to their person. So I feel like this is Louis Vuitton's classiest bag. The shape is just giving class. It's giving, you know, etiquette. It's giving tea. It's giving formal, you know, brunch, formal banquet, formal award acceptance. I've actually carried this bag. Literally, if I've ever had like any sort of like award ceremony, banquet, you know, anything like that, this is actually the bag that I tend to grab because it just fits that mold so perfectly. The next bag that I feel like is really classy, and I feel like will probably be the most controversial, is the Louis Vuitton Mini Speedy. I feel like the Louis Vuitton Mini Speedy is a super classy bag, and I feel like it's classy simply because it's traditional Louis Vuitton but small. That's basically why. Again, like I said, typically for a lot of these formal events, you know, we're going small, we're going little top handle. That's typically what people are giving at formal events. We're giving clutch, and I feel like this bag very much embodies that, where you can do the clutch thing, you can do the little top handle. It's a small bag, looks very cute. You know, you have a gown, you have, you know, a fancy dress on, and, you know, it's very much giving that. It's something that can sit on your lap while you're sitting at an event, something that's even small enough you could have it sitting on the table beside you. So, you know, it works very, very well for formal events, formal settings, sitting around a table, a panel. It works very well for that. You can fit your bare essentials in here. You're not bringing everything under the kitchen sink. You know, you probably gave your keys to the valet. In here, you just have, you know, lip balm, cell phone, hand lotion, maybe a little perfume. You're not carrying everything, just very light. A lot of people probably would not say that they view the Mini Speedy as a classic or I'm sorry, as a classy bag, mostly because a lot of the ones that you see are kind of like run down looking. But if you do have one that still is in very nice condition, like this one that I have, it looks like a very classy bag. And again, you're getting traditional Louis Vuitton, meaning the Speedy. You are getting traditional Louis Vuitton, but you're getting it on a smaller scale, which is typically what we're looking for those types of functions. And the last bag I think is undeniably probably one of Louis Vuitton's classiest bags, and that is the Louis Vuitton Locket. This is the limited edition Locket, and you know, I'm sorry if there are people with the traditional Locket, but I feel like this one looks better. A lot of people, I don't even think, realize that there's two variations of the Locket. You do not see this variation as often. But you know, you can look it up, Locket PM, Locket MM, Locket GM, and then compare it to limited edition Locket MM. This is the limited edition Locket MM, and this also comes in PM and GM, but the MM and PM are definitely the ones that are better for personal carry. The GM is more of a luggage piece. Nonetheless, I feel like this is one of Louis Vuitton's classiest bags, and I definitely feel like depending on what you're doing, the PM might be better if you're going for that kind of short little top handle look, and the MM works really well, you know, if you're kind of the main event. Like, you know, I feel like this bag is, you're walking up to the podium, you have your water bottle, you have your speech in it, you're walking up to the podium. I feel like this bag is very much giving Olivia Pope. It's giving white hat, white jacket. You know, it's very much giving, you are the moment, you are the room. You know, it's giving that. It commands attention. It looks very formal, very fancy, very high end. And I just feel like this is the type of bag that if you walk around and you walk in a room and you sit it down on a table, people are definitely going to look at you. Like, I feel like it's going to command that attention. And I can tell you, as somebody who has carried this bag in those sorts of settings, it absolutely does do that. So this is the Louis Vuitton limited edition Locket MM. I definitely feel like this is one of Louis Vuitton's classiest bags, and again, this is the bag that I have taken for any sort of like conferences, or if I'm the speaker for something, or you know, any sort of important signings I've done. This is the bag that I take because it very much gives, I mean business. You know, very pretty. So again, these are my opinions on what I think are Louis Vuitton's classiest bags, or some of Louis Vuitton's classiest bags. As you see, they all sort of range in size and shape, and as I also said, they have variations in their sizes. You can get bigger versions or smaller versions, but I definitely feel like all of these bags are classics. As I said, this is not limited to these bags. Louis Vuitton has definitely made other bags that are very, very classy, but these were the ones that have always stood out to me, and that's why I brought them. So nonetheless, if you're interested in seeing more of my collection, more of these bags and my other bags, make sure you stop by my Instagram at the Louis Vuitton Princess. And if you're interested in shopping my closet, make sure you stop by Shop LV Princess on Instagram.